to Tools of Fortune. TOF, Tools of Fortune. Mama Sushi, if you're still there, I am here now. Will I ever meet a partner? That's the first question we're reading on. Will I ever meet a partner? We'll just try a 3-card yes, no, and analyze the cards, the numbers, and see what it is that it will say. Will I ever meet a person who will be a partner, a marital partner, or otherwise? Partnershiping. It came up. Partnershiping came up in an earlier reading. For things. For about how can I have success? How can I achieve greater or material success? And so let's just see what these 3 cards have to say. Will I ever meet a partner? It looks like no. Looks like in the near future, no. And it seems that the reason why is an issue of compatibility and being too self-absorbed or disengaged from life to even be able to see someone. And then there is the thought. Too much wild impulses, unrepressed creativity. So, in the near term, am I destined to be alone? Welcome, Mama Sushi. You didn't miss anything. I had to step away for just a second to say that I couldn't go watch the TV with my mother. Anyways, so the question I read on is, will I ever meet a partner? In the 3-card yes, no, it just says no. But, you know, it's not a hard no, it's a soft no. But I did get some things, like here's some letters here. Tools of Fortune. Is this, it should be right if I look at this. Let me just go look at it here. Look on the screen. We read from what? Left to right. So, Tools of Fortune. There it is, Tools of Fortune. I don't have it backwards. It's not backwards from this angle. And then there is another one. I got some other letters too. here. My other letters. I'm going to go to the beach tomorrow again. And I am your reader. I am your reader. So I picked these up at my volunteer job on Saturday. This is me, your reader. But let's just go on and look at that question. Let's put them back here. We'll put these other ones back there too. So what was the numerical energy behind this? We were looking at 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. So it's like it's an energy of disharmony. That's why I'm not in harmony. Anyways, making a puzzle to spelling backwards, yeah. Well, what else would it have to say? If anybody has a question, I'd be glad to look into it. Backwards, forwards and backwards. And this bird looks really good too. Backwards. Maybe, am I backwards? All right, I'm going to ask that question. That's the question we're going to ask next. Am I backwards? Am I backwards? Okay. I guess it's a big hard no. This was upright in the last time, and now it was downright, so it's a hard no. I'm not backwards, I'm forwards. My anxiety is diminished. Though I think twice, or I better think twice before. Yeah, okay, we got that. We got some decision-making issues. And I'm in a place of imbalance. That's 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so my foundation, though, is... Okay, why is your person afraid of you? Welcome, Kaz. Welcome. Welcome from down under. You know, I really like the taste of Vegemite. I like Vegemite way better than Marmite. Vegemite is, yeah, I love the taste of Vegemite. So Maria has a question. Her question is, why is my person AFRAID afraid of me? Today's the 19th, right? This month is almost gone. I have noticed that I'm a little bit more migraine-y this month. More silent migraines. It's silent migraines. It's not the heavy I get a lot of migraine symptoms. They're not. I don't always get the headache pain. Sleep disturbances, other things. You don't like the taste or smell of any of the mites, either the Marmite or the Vegemite? Huh. Oh, I just love that Vegemite stuff. It's hard to get. It's expensive. It's hard to get. There are no stores within 50 miles or 100 miles of where I live where you could buy Vegemite from. You can get Marmite. Marmite's pretty easy to get. All right, Kaz. I haven't used anyone. I haven't. I didn't know you had a website, Kaz. I will go check it out. Hmm. Okay. Why is your? Let me just go clear the air here because I got to get my mind off of the Vegemite because that's what I'm just thinking about. It's like having Vegemite on crackers or like on like butter and hardtack with butter and Vegemite. I mean, that's like the bomb. That's like the my fa- that's one of my favorite snacky foods. I mean, it's just tons of salt and everything. Way more salt than I should be consuming. But oh, it's not your website. Okay, well, I'll ask that question to see what comes up. But let's go. Let me clear the air, and we're going to go to Maria's question. This is more for me than anyone else to um, focus my mind. Okay, why is Maria's person afraid of her? Why is Maria's person afraid of her? Tell me when to stop shuffling, Maria. Ah, I see. Maria, tell me when to stop shuffling. Looks like another card just popped out. The deck is talking here. Maybe we just let the deck talk. That card popped out too. I guess we're just going to let the deck talk. Okay. There it is, 4 cards. Well, it seems like what I'm getting, Maria, is that it's not necessarily a fear, but it is, um, or I would say that it's there's some fighting going on. There's rules. You got some of this Hierophant energy and tradition, tradition or group conformity, a a and not wanting to step out of the bounds of the group that the person identifies with. And then there's a lot of like fighting going on. A lot of kind of internal fighting, or a feel that your person needs to defend themselves or always be on the high ground. And then maybe there is some fear or some dysfunction in the relationship. Phantom decks. So we have some dysfunctions here. And then there's a strong connection to motherly energy. So whether it's your person's mother bound up to a motherly energy and this desire to follow rules, to not break out of like a tradition, and then a sense of needing to protect themselves, protect themselves in this. But then I think what overrides the whole thing is a fear of happiness, or a fear that they will, if they break away from this situation, that they will be unhappy. Welcome again, Zalto. So that's kind of what I see in just these cards of why your person is afraid of you. Strong motherly connections. Family problems, or fear of, a lacking emotional connections, but just bound to the mother, bound to the group, and always feeling like the need to defend themselves. So does that make any sense? Hmm. So Maria, well, maybe I'll read on that to see if maybe he is involved with someone else. Is the and so So he is involved with someone else that you're aware of. Because these cards add up to the number 6. So another of the issues, or the overall issues, is one of 6, and that of love or other relationship issues. But we'll see. My reading experience is that of, I've been reading for about a year. I'm still learning the tarot, if that makes any sense, but I have been studying for a few years. But then again, you can be studying for tarot for 20 years and still feel like a beginner. So that makes sense to you. And being that the person is involved with someone else, and so is that a person involved with someone else? Yeah, he is. It's a kind of a soft yes. There is the Wheel of Fortune. It's changing into a different place. He's on a different timeline than you're on. And this is that other thing. This card has come up twice. This card has come up twice in this sense of this needing to fight, to stand their ground, or that there's this kind of a fighting, or with this concept, it was being able to defend yourself and being in a place where you're always needing to fight and be on a defensive side, and maybe a not willing to want to put the work in, not a real hard worker. So this person, they're involved with somebody else, but they're not really involved with because they still feel they're lacking of something. And any time that Wheel of Fortune could click over into just another place, into another timeline, and then maybe they might be free to be involved with you. What does this number add up to? 18, 23, 2 plus 3 is 5. So what kind of governs this question is the number 5, which is, in a sense, what is governing this is this spirit here of the Wheel of Fortune, of where it could be change, challenge, and change or challenge. And that's kind of what seems to be governing this question here with these cards. We have the challenge of this fight that is here, and this the lack of something, but then the change. The cycles could change, and you could jump timelines, and then this guy might be free. So why do you want to be with this guy or this person? What is it about this person that attracts you? Of course, that's We all have those types of people, that we obsess over, we want to be with. You know, hmm. I like the keyword cards. If you're still here, Zalto, I I prefer the keyword decks because I'm a kind of a word orientated person. And so if we were to let's look at this. Let's look at the crossword oracle, Maria. So the two numbers that have popped out is 5 and 6. 5 plus 6 equals 11. 11 comes down to the number 2, which is about balance. So you have a lot in common. You're good friends and you have a lot in common. So he is with somebody else, but it could change. So what does Spirit want you to know about this situation? What does Spirit want Maria to know about this situation here? What does Spirit want Maria to know about this person? What does Spirit want Maria to know about this person? What does Spirit want Maria to know about this person? We're just going to use this card here. This is the one that wanted to come out. So we're looking at already from a number of 3 and 7. 37. 37. And 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 boils down. It kind of, overall, what governs the number 37 is the number 1. 3 and 7. 7 being of creative expression. Creativity. And 7 of contemplation. So you're looking at a beginning. When you are with this person, you feel that you are you feel kind of in a sense of being renewed, in a place of renewal, kind of like a resurrection, because that was kind of the theme that when I started this afternoon and was thinking about what is today's reading, what is the energy that's governing today's reading, and that is of renewal, of starting again, of being born again, but not being born again, but resurrection, which is different. It's that judgment card. It's that sense of you once were dead, but now you are alive again. Resurrection. But in the judgment cards, as you are alive again, you are made new and whole, and everything that was dead in you has been left behind. And so that's kind of what I see here. We have your, so when you are with this guy, you hang out with him, you feel more creative. You feel a sense of like newness, like of possibilities, new possibilities. And then when you go home, you just think about that, being in that state of being. So you have a lot in common. You have a lot in common, but and so he makes you feel new again. He makes you feel new again. And when we saw the cards of that, what was that, the 8 or the 7? The 7 of Pentacles, that work card. That this is something that needs to be worked at. Worked at some more. So if this relationship were to become anything other than friends, it's going to require a lot of work. And then, you know, then that 10 of Cups can be turned upright. And that 10 of Cups here is a 1. It's a new beginning. An ending and a new beginning. You've made it, but you haven't made it yet. But there's this sense of happiness that's there. Because 3 plus 7 is 10. 10. It's that ending point. But it's also a beginning wrapped up in that. Yeah. So we have the words cloak and fort. But it looks like he's with somebody else. I think that she needs to wait. But then maybe not. Maybe she needs to make a move and actually talk and ask him if it's like you're hiding under, you have that fear and you're hiding some of your feelings here. But even under that cloak, those feelings echo through, roaring into you like a rocket, blasting up into space. And there's this pen here. Writing a new future. The future is still being written because the pen is in your hand. But he has a pen too. Echo, cloak, pen. And there's also this sense of a fort or a fortress. Being in a fort. Afraid of getting hurt again. Yeah. Probably talking to him would be a good thing to do. have coffee. That tarot logic guy says that coffee can sharpen your intuition, so you could go out for coffee, have coffee with him, and while you're sitting across to him, about 30 minutes into that, as that caffeine starts to affect you, it also sharpens your intuition and your ability to recognize patterns and to see if there is actually anything there. Is there any there? You feel like you're in a whole different book. Well, that sense of, well, that just may be that you are in that, but there's is in that he is involved with somebody else, but there's this number 5. Maybe he needs to be challenged, a challenge to see there's 3 words, that main words that are attached to that number 5. It's change, challenge, and freedom. And it wasn't a hard no. It was a soft yes. It wasn't a hard, firm yes. So there's room there. There's room, wiggle room there. He's not married. He's not married to her, so therefore, there is a room. There's always room. Yeah. You're in a whole different book. All right, well, thank you, Maria. That number 7 comes up a lot here with you. It's like walking up on a mountain. Your involvement is all in your mind. But there is a fork in the road. You just have to listen. All right, sure. Sure. Let's just put this over here. All right. It was probably a mistake of me to have caffeine before so late in the evening here, but I wanted to try that tarot logic guy's thing of caffeine sharpening one's in. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull my mind down into the moment while Mama Sushi comes up with her question. Did you just want a general? Maybe I'll use a little bit more of this potion for magic hands. From Essence of the Moon. Well, you know, your mental health is likely to get better after the baby comes. Your life purpose. So you feel lost. Hmm. Okay. We'll just see what we can get. You're looking for... Well, Kaz, it was this guy, Terrible Logic guy. I follow I follow. He has another channel. Mama Sushi knows his other channel. He like comes on with a tie on and a suit. He gives like a 8-10 minute long message about tarot or other things, you know, about, but in a very down to earth logical point of view. I resonate with that. I resonate with... I'm not gonna use... He said not to use that word. I think you know that. But anyways, I kind of feel like the folks that we communicate with are often people who, I believe, that we share a lot of common bounds, common grounds. Our foundations are similar. Let's just go. Yeah. All right. Well, Mama Sushi, my world feels real. I was just thinking about that before I came on here, how small my world has gotten, especially in the last few months, and just being what a caregiver. And then my friends, I don't have very many friends, but one of them's, they're just like so busy because her husband is like 1 year away from retirement. And so they're just knuckling down and trying to earn as much money as they can. Then next year, hopefully the economy, the economy, the bottom doesn't fall out of the economy, so they can go move out of California and go live in Vermont. Is where they want to live. And so they're always busy. I don't know her husband, but I've my friend, I've known her for a long time. Then there's my another friend who I've known for a long time. I just only have like 4 or 5 people, and then one of them has cancer. But yeah, let's just go back with any message about mental health. Well, if you're struggling with depression, Mama Sushi, then you probably need to go talk to somebody. if it's anxiety or depression, and maybe before Medicaid goes away, you should see if you can book appointment with somebody. I don't really know what mental health and your other thing is your life purpose. Two really hard questions. Well, I would probably say, Mama Sushi, that your life purpose right now has already been chosen for you. That your life purpose is that of being a mother and a parent and wife, and being a parent and a wife, and then you probably feel really, really lonely in this in this role that you are in. And then of course there's your kind of a multi-generational household that you live in, which is a huge drain on your mental health issues. I can see that because you have no privacy. Your you have no real place that you can call your own. You have a place that you rent. Probably if you were had a house that you were buying into, but you had other people who were in partnership with that and on the same page that you were on, your mental health would be much more improved if went into a place of home ownership. But this, if you are having some depression issues, I really would urge you to gosh, it's like, yeah, before OHP goes away. But it's obviously you do have some healthcare healthcare because you're getting prenatal care and all that. So I would ask to see if you could talk to somebody. And don't be shy about that. I talked to a therapist for almost 2 years. I eventually just cut it off because I felt like I was wasting money by going. But it was for the time that I did go, it was very helpful. But let's go read on your life purpose. Oh, your therapist told you to move, of course. Yeah. But if you can't afford to move, it's like, then, you know, I feel like somebody's going to knock on my door in a second here. Yeah, well, those finances, it makes things, it's really hard. You know, depending on what your husband's skill set is, I suppose you could always, if the economy was better, feeling like the bottom at any time. Spirit Mountain Casino is a super hard place to work. And I'll tell you, it's a super hard place to work. But they do offer good benefits. There's huge sacrifices that are made when you go to do casino work. Casino work is hard. It's really hard work. And there's nothing easy about, but they do offer career positions because what they want out of their workers is they want really career minded people who will follow the rules and be there for the long haul. And though they talk about being family centric, but they're not really. They're just work centric. But nevertheless, but that's things that I know about in just personal wise. I mean, for around here for this area. But then the living situation where cheap rent would be like Bunsville, and that's not necessarily good. They're not places to live that where you might feel safe. That's the problem. Outside of if you were tribal, you would just live in tribal housing, and you would have a different situation, and there would be because in the tribal housing people do have more safety and more security that live there. But unless you have money, like that's anywhere, that stability we have in our society comes through having those financial resources, which in theory improve this, but that's only in theory, because a lot of that is there is this mental health is often just improved with time, because as you get older you learn how to cope with all these things, because after a while you'd gone through everything. Now you're still going to have anxiety if you're prone to anxiety. If you're prone to depression, you'll still have a little bit of depression, but some of those things can just be worked through. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, he's a caregiver. He probably would benefit from being an RN if he could be an LPN. Do that. But yeah, that's the your life purpose. I think you know what your life purpose is, Mama Sushi. And because this is pixelated. How long has this thing been pixelated for? I have full internet net strength, and maybe it's not pixelated, but I just don't get it. The internet, that just kind of really bothers me. You pay good money for internet, and then it's pixelated. It gets blurry, and then it gets clear again. And I'm on a damn Ethernet line too. If I shut that off, maybe that gets better that way. I don't know. Blurry and clear again. It shouldn't be, well, it shouldn't be blurry at all. So when you talk about life purpose, what do you mean? Because I know what I think about that. And I think that most everybody's life, being informed. I'll just ask, do you want to do Reiki then? Okay. Well, let's ask, I'm just going to ask, let's just get let me do 4 cards here on your life purpose. I'll do 4 cards. You're just going to tell me when. Oh, I see. You should do it then, as soon as you can. Well, why don't you tell me when to stop shuffling? So we'll just ask that question for right now. Okay. Professionally? FF. I can't spell it. Okay, we have it here. Professionally. So if we were asking, we haven't asked that question, so we're just going to throw out some cards here. We want to just see. Well, what RMV, had been really tired. I've been really tired lately. A lot more migraines too. So what the card's telling me right now about right now, Mama Sushi, is that you got a lot of juggling stuff that you're juggling right now. Okay, now it's clear again. So you got the Two of Pentacles, and then how would we arrange this so it looks like it's a better thing going on? Because you got some like awakening and some different issues that are going on. I guess it doesn't really matter how it's arranged, but there's a feeling of being lost, and you're tired, and you're juggling a whole lot of things, but sitting around all of this is this sense of that Judgment card of your your rebirth, your reawakening, your beginning your next adventure, that next step. That next adventure is just right around the corner. But through it all, you're still lost. You're juggling too many things at the same time. And with that, with this stuff of being lost, juggling things, and you're just exhausted, and you feel like giving up. That's what it says. But there's this. A sense of rebirth. You're ready to start something new. As it looks like I drew these cards without actually asking a question, Mama Sushi, but we've been talking about those things. Should you do Reiki? I'm going to get another deck out and to do that yes/no question. I'm going to lay those cards right out here. You want to do it, so, but whether there's any money in it or not, it's a different story. Is this all upright cards, or are they all just going to mix these things up? Yeah, you have a lot of pressure. I think probably, Mama Sushi, you're at a place where you can only dream about what your life is going to be like after you regain some stability in your life, in the arena of where you are a parent, in that parental place. A lot of the people who work at the casino, they either live in Dallas or they live in Rose Lodge. If they go buy houses, they go buy houses in Rose Lodge, which is, just on the other side of the corridor, going right into Otis, because housing there, I think it was anyway. I don't know if it's still the same, but a lot of people did buy houses down there in Rose Lodge, and Rose Lodge is It's 15 miles away, roughly 15 miles away from Spirit Mountain Casino and 15 miles away from the coast, from Lincoln City. But if you live in Rose Lodge, you could always, but you know, the closer you get to the coast, the more expensive it is to live. In more ways than one, but let's go ask that question about Reiki. The question is should Mama Sushi do Reiki professionally? So at this point in time, it's no, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. It's a pretty hard no too. Burdens. You need to travel someplace, but you're not moving very fast. Burdened with things, and there's this need to. I see this as just being an extension of need to see things from a different viewpoint, but there's just an overwhelming tiredness going on. Energy blockages and so forth. But you know, but in the future, huh? Changing, charging or changing? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you're not ever going to move. I mean, you're probably going to move in the future. I mean, is Mama Sushi moving in the, you know, what does it say this time about moving? It's a soft no, but it's just not, things aren't quite ready yet. Things aren't in the right alignment. That's kind of what I see, that it's not. You know what? You know, I'm gonna. When I asked Jeff about doing a second channel, the answer was like almost like a no, because it would be too hard. It would be hard, but I didn't actually listen to Jeff because my gut told me that I should do a second channel. And my gut has my internal self. So when you go and ask, when you're quiet and you ask, hold on a second, I'll be right back. Well, I'm needed in my caregiving duties here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the channel open here, and I'll be back in like 15 minutes. But what I was saying, Mama Sushi, is that I think that though you said in the last time that you thought that in about 2 years from now that you would be moving. When you got things more into line. So maybe if your husband gets a different job that pays more money, then you can move. Okay, I got it. I gotta go. Yeah. I need to take a 15-minute break. My mother's having an issue. And so what time will it be back? It's 10:30. Um, I'll be back in about 20 minutes. I'm going to leave the stream open. And I'm going to be back in about 15, 20 minutes. You're right. I'm going to leave the channel running, and what I'll do is put on a Let's see if we got some entertainment we can put on. And one of my longer videos. Oh yeah, some of my first videos. This will occupy this is one I'm not supposed to show, but all right, I'm going to put this, I'm going to turn the sound up. This is from 3 years ago.
With a brief moment of silence.
Walking video with Pee Wee? Okay, I'll get one of those. That one's not that long though. Let's just watch this one here.
And for our distant ancestors who made us who we are today. I want to remember my father, my physics professor, Dr. D, my Aunt G, my grandparents, 3 high school classmates whose lives were cut tragically short, and the dogs, Happy, Brenda, Ranger, Milo, Odo, and the cats, Grace and Jack, whose spirits still dwell in my house and appear to me late at night when I am under high anxiety or when other things visit. I myself have had many strange encounters with beings in my dream life. To this day, I have a hard time reading anything about alien abduction experiences. Now, when I was a teenager, I read every book I could find on UFOs or UAPs. I read so many of these, and I was so fascinated by this subject that I wanted to be a ufologist when I grew up. Then I chanced across this novel called Communion by Whitley Strieber. And I think I read it in my early 20s when I was in college. And this book triggered something in me. Something in it reminded me of something. It triggered me. Now, around the time of the first Gulf War, Desert Storm, which began in January 1990, I had to leave college because I had broke myself. I mentioned in a previous episode that I have a learning disability called APD, or audio processing disorder. As a side note, my mother, whose name also starts with an L, and Uncle L and their father also have audio processing disorder. For me, I had a hard time learning. In 1990, I was 22 years old. I was a student at Linfield College studying physics, and I didn't know that I had audio processing disorder. And I was struggling with the calculus, and I was struggling with the general physics. All I knew was that to get good grades, I needed to study 3 or 4 or 5 times as hard as my peers did. In fact, I studied about 100 hours a week, and all I could get was like D plus and C minuses and C's and B minuses. It was really, really rough. And also I wanted to say that I have also throughout my life felt out of sync with reality. I felt like there's my world and then there's the rest of the world. And my constant experience was that if I could just learn the system my peers knew, then I too could be an A student. I felt like that was why I wasn't an A student, because they knew something. They had some secret knowledge, some hidden knowledge, and they weren't telling me. And none of the teachers and everything were telling me about this system. And so I always felt like I should have achieved more academically. And I'll just leave it at that. I know that sounded pretty random and pretty crazy. But what I'm trying to say is that I broke myself. I pushed so hard against my limits that I became so exhausted that I broke my body, and I entered into a period of severe anxiety. And to this date, I still suffer with anxiety at the age of 55. My experience with these beings comes in the form of dreams, or in this case, night terrors, of contact with beings from flying saucers. I would see flying saucer up in the sky, a glowing thing, and then the next thing I know, they were in my front yard and I was being floated into the flying saucer. And these dreams began in my early 20s after reading that novel, Communion. And the last time I had one of these dreams was about 10 years ago or so. I've done a lot of reading about alien dreams, and so from a psychological perspective, alien dreams has nothing to do with encounters with real aliens or being abducted or whatnot. But it has something to do with encountering new things in your day-to-day life and having trouble processing new and strange things. Spiritualists theorize that they could signify curiosity for the unknown or unfamiliar surroundings and so forth and etc. And when you read those accounts, they seem far more positive than what I remember from those dreams. And maybe that's all these dreams mean. I don't know. But maybe they signify something else. As of now, in recording this episode, I am terrified that just thinking about this will trigger another one of those dream episodes. What do you, the listener, think about alien dreams? Have you had dreams about aliens? Is what the cyber psychologists or internet spiritualists theorize? Or do alien dreams have other meanings altogether? Maybe multiple meanings all at the same time. On a base level, the terror could be a subconscious panic attack. A panic attack in a dream. Panic attacks in waking moments are terrible enough, but I guess a panic attack in a dream could be even more terrifying. And I just thought of that in this moment, that I was having panic attacks in my dreams, and maybe that's what that means. And the alien dream character could have been my mind pulling an image out of my past from those novels that I read, the UAP, UFO, and alien novels that I read as a teenager. And then my mind processed through these fears, my day-to-day fears of whatever those fears are through my dream life. I don't know. Maybe that sounded kind of random. I hope it didn't sound like a load of tosh. As far as Bigfoot or UAPs are concerned, what are your thoughts? I wonder if these alien dreams are like encounters with ghosts or other spiritual phenomena. And God only knows I've had plenty of those encounters in my waking life. And maybe this too is related to the alien dreams. Maybe the alien character is simply a ghost. Now, if you have any insights or you want to be a part of the conversation, please email the show. The address is listed under the channel's About tab as well as in the description box below. And that's all for now. The next episode will be arriving in YouTube on 11/11 at 11 a.m. And at that exact moment, I will be at the Willamina Coastal Hills Art Tour, displaying my art, books, and hand-painted cards. And hopefully I will sell lots of my work. I got my fingers crossed, and I'm knocking on wood. Well, good day, good night, good morning, wherever you may be. May God or Gaia or the Brahma or the source of all that there is bless you and keep you safe till the next time. This is W.J. Lindbergh signing off.
All right. I come back. I don't know if you guys are here or not. All right. Hey, it's about the same time, 10 minutes before I said I'd come back. Well, RMV, you are in California. I apologize to Mama Sushi for not being so assuring here. I mean, what is her life? I gotta go and yes, she was. But I didn't really do much of a reading. I don't know, because I had, I know she's not here. But I really kind of felt like she's supposed to do something else. I was listening to the spirit. I know you're not here, Mama Sushi, but okay, it's out of focus. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let me turn the volume off here so it is out of... It shouldn't be, though. If I plug in on a hard internet line, it should be in focus. I don't get it. You know, ever since the earthquake, there's been crappy internet reception. I feel like I feel like that earthquake damaged those undersea lines. So California lottery, let's see, did I look that up once? Still blurry, it's gonna be blurry. I'm gonna go over here. Wait, I shouldn't be texting my sister here. California State Lottery. How to play. I just need to see what the number range was. I know how to play scratchers. You play scratchers. The draw games. It was the number range between... I don't want hotspot. Let's just go California. So Super Lotto Plus. You just have thoughts on scratchers. Okay. All right. And you want to know if you're going to win big on your scratchers. So I think that it has been soft yeses and soft no's, and so will you win big? And we're going to do a let's use a different deck altogether. You just do Powerball. This is a new deck. There's just an ordinary playing card deck. And smells, it's kind of funky smell. And when you do a yes, no, when it was like a when was it? 13 cards, deal out 13 cards, and so with Gypsy Witch Oracle, which is on a playing card, it's dealing out 13 cards, and if that card is an odd number, the answer to your question is no. If it's an even number, it's yes. Just in time, welcome. So your question is, and we're going to just do yes, no's for you on big wins. We can look at the numbers too, just a little bit. RMV. But I think I've mentioned this before about today's the 19th. Okay. Well, why don't we ask, will win big this year? Okay, how about we ask that question? This year, and there's 6 months left of this year. And we're going to do that. We're doing a yes, no. We're using, the method we're going to be using is we're rolling out 13 cards. And if it's an odd number, and I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write this intention down right now. So if it is odd and even, that's a no and a yes. Odd and even. So, will RMV win big this year? Will RMV win big in 2025? That's the question. Will RMV win big in 2025? You're going to get this thing right. Will RMV win big in 2025? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hey, it's a wild card. Look at that. That could go either way. I'm going to say that that's a maybe. Huh. What's the next card? We have a maybe. wild card. So that's neither yes nor no. It's up to the spirit. All right, let's try it again. At least the stream is clear this time. Will RMV win big in 2025? Well, wild card popped out twice. Now that's actually kind of an interesting thing. So there's two wild cards and it popped out twice. Will you win big in 2025? That actually seems kind of hopeful, RMV. Okay, 13 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, that's would constitute an odd number. But we're going to do it 2 out of 3. So the first time it was a maybe, the second time was a no, and let's see what the third card says. This time I'm going to ask you to tell me when to stop shuffling, RMV. You tell me when to stop shuffling. Same question. Will you win big in 2025? If you're still there, tell me when to stop shuffling. All right. One more shuffle. And I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now that's an even number. So it's either way. It looks like it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up here, RMV. But let's just go. I want to ask this. We're going to ask this question one more time. 3-card yes, no. I'm going to mix the cards up because there is a upside down in this deck. This deck has upside down cards. Shuffle. We'll do a 3-card yes, no energy reading here. And let's just mix the cards up again. Get upside downs and right sides up. All right. I'm doing something RMV. I'm still very much a novice when it comes to divination. As far as the knowledge part is going, there's a knowledge component of it, and then there is just that interconnectedness. Now that's the part where, well, yeah, we still have to, you have to foster that relationship. We're gonna go and clear the air again here. I just gonna get my mind down to silence here. This is for RMV. Okay. Mary Magdalene, Mary of Guadalupe. RMB wishes to know if he will win big before 2026. Win big. Three cards, yes, no. It's the first card. These ones shot out of there. I'm going to put them back in. If they come back, they come back. From this, it does say essentially it's a soft yes. Just like before. It's a soft yes. Before it was a yes, no, and a couple wild cards. Maybes. So I think that it's really a maybe. So we have an earth energy. Let me get an idea of what does this mean if we look at So your 4 of clubs. And that's sort of a celebration. Runs like a celebration type spirit. Maybe you can look up these saints. I don't know what these saints are on the, and that's a Saint Andre Bessette. Maybe we'll look him up too. We'll just look at that to see what that energy is. It's clear. So we have a celebration, and this is a cause for celebration. The final outcome of this, we have a 10, which is also a good number. We're looking at celebration, domestic bliss, Four of clubs. That's kind of what you're looking there. Now let's look at that 10 of diamonds, which is kind of similar to 10 of pentacles. I am looking at a manual. But it's sort of a in reverse 10 of diamonds. And the spirit of this card is of loss. Of loss. That you have lost something. It's in a sense that it's a loss of material wealth. And that's what that spirit is there. Now we look for like a 7, the 7 of spades. And that has spirit of ambition. So we're looking at ambition coupled with a loss of material wealth, but in the end, it results in celebration. And the overall energy of this is 17, 3. The overall energy of that is a 3 of creativity, expression, in a sense that you can, in this yes, what's wound up in this yes is of creative expression, of creativity, of a triangular sort of balance. And we're looking at 17, 18, 21. And you're also looking at a sense of like the World card. Like you've made it. Like this energy is, it manifests a sense that you've gained the whole world. That's what I see in this, yes. Thomas More. I used to know what Thomas More was about. Let's look up Thomas More. Thomas More So Thomas More was a chancellor in Britain. He was a lawyer. He was a legal authority, an ambitious person, an ambitious man. So we start with ambition. And so that was what that is, ambition. The Saint Cecilia, what's this? Saint Cecilia. Saint Cecilia was a martyr. She died. She died for her faith. She died for what she believed in. In that sense, she lost. Maybe that was that sense of that loss. A martyr of the faith. She died triumphantly. And her looking at this guy is a driven man. Spirit of being driven. And being a martyr, that is a special kind of energy. That's an energy of a person who is also driven, but somebody who believes intently. But this comes in a reversed form. So there's a lack of belief, a loss. 10 plus 7, 17. 17 is what? 1 plus 8 is 7. We look at what? The Chariot. So if we look at these energies as the major arcana energies here, let's say the 17. I believe that's the moon card, or the star card. No, okay, it's not the moon, it's the star card. It's the star. And together, the 10 and the 7, you're looking at hope. You have a whole lot of hope because you really want that win. I certainly hope, RMV, that you are, when you do your scratchers, I really, really hope that you're either doing it on like TikTok or you're doing it on YouTube. Maybe you can afford some, when you get that minimum 50 subs on YouTube, that you can start simulcasting on, maybe on Twitch, because you can start live streaming on Twitch from 0. But maybe you don't want to do that. You just do your videos, your unedited videos. When you do produce your videos for this, your Lottery Scratcher channel, my recommendation is that either you just upload them live, upload them just as is, or you turn the speed up. So if you, let's say you use YouTube Create to do your videos, you use that speed control and you turn the speed up anywhere between 1.3 and 1.5, or even a little bit faster when you're going through the scratching things. And so I'm really hoping that you, if you haven't done that as a channel, I'm really hoping that you do that for your scratch tickets and so forth. At first, And then while you are scratching your tickets, you need to think and work on channeling into your mouth witty things to say. You are channeling all of your humor, everything that you got in you. And you're working on saying those things to your best of your ability without using the empty words of awe and it's a lot of work. I've been doing and there I just did it. I've been doing YouTube on 999 show for 3 years. I'm going into my fourth year, and going into my fourth year of regular content creation. And I still struggle with with the language thing. But I can tell you that doing stream of consciousness speaking gets easier with practice. So that's my advice for you, is that yes, you may end up with a loss, but if you can have a point of celebration if you that's at least that's what my gut is telling me, that you really should do that. I mean, of course, a big huge win for social media is your channel taking off and then you get like 100,000 subs. Your channel taking off and you're able to have an operating budget of like, a couple $100 a week. In addition, doing this in addition to your regular job. With like third hand slots and that other guy, I think he had a really good thing, but I think that where they really went wrong is when they started doing the casino gambling, and that's where they ended up burning out and having to quit. John, he was really witty. I liked his channel. I would start with doing one video session a week and maybe try to do two or three. But but you don't want to burn yourself out, because content creation you can really burn yourself out really fast. Okay, anyway, that's all I've got to say for you. I hope that this made sense to you. I don't know. I don't know if this made sense, but this is my first time doing a live reading of regular playing cards. So I didn't look up this other guy. Saying he looked like he's a military guy, but he's actually not. He's a priest. Saint Andre Bassett. Oh, from a church in Michigan. Oh, that's a Michigan, not the parish. the person. He died in 1937. What is he known for? He was a lay guy. So he was a healer. So he was a spiritual healer. Okay, let's talk about your scratchers then. All right. You have some scratchers. So what we have is three $40 and one $30. Big winner. And for you, big winner was $1,000 plus dollars. All right. As before, I'm going to lay it out 13 cards. And I'm going to set the intention. Odd is no. Even is yes. Any in the $40 tickets, are there any big winners? Big winners in the $40 tickets. Are there any big winners in the $30 tickets? Are there any big winners in the $30 tickets? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, $13. That's a no. That was a no on that one. But maybe we'll do 2 out of 3. Well, there's 3 tickets. Let's try it again. 2 out of 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Even. Well, we got 1 no and 1 yes. 1 no and 1 yes, and let's do 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 1 yes and 2 no's. But of course, if you reduce that jack down, that might be 2 yeses. So I'm going to say that's a maybe. What we're going to say on this is a maybe. Now let's go to the other one. All right, Glenn, we'll be right with you. And Kumzil, do you have a specific question on career, a specific job that you're looking for? Okay, on the $30 ticket, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. The first one there is a yes. Let's do 2 out of 3. I think this was the second one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's an odd number. So I think that so right now we're still at a maybe. So I'm going to be with you shortly, Glenn, and then I will be with you. So on this, yes, no. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So look at it. This one is a little bit more promising. RMV looks more promising than the $40 tickets. All right. With that everything, or so that's what we got. There is promise on the $30 ticket. Okay, and so Glenn wants a... All right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me read for you. We're going to clear the air. It's going to be Glenn. And then I'm going to go to... I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Is this like a hard K sound? Is this a hard K sound? Or a soft K? Because to me, I think this is a hard K. Like at the... So this is career. And Glenn is also career. And her spirit is starting over, reinventing self. And yeah, it is my internet. Shoot, this is really frustrating to me. It's been like this all night. Let's try... I'm gonna go try it on straight Wi-Fi and see what that does. Okay. I don't understand why the Wi-Fi is clearer than a hard line into the Ethernet. Okay, let's go. All right, Glenn, you're going to be... The question we're going to do... The question we're going to do... And, oh! I just lost the... I lost the light. I'll be right back here. I need to get another light, camera light, right here. That means this other light is going to go out soon too. I just charged this one up, so... I'm going to need to... put all those clothes away. Okay. All right, here we go. We're back in business. Okay, let's use this deck. And his question is, will Glenn get a job before the end of 2025. So let's just mix the cards up a bit. We're going to do 3-card yes, no's on this one. We'll just take a look at the cards and feel the energy of the cards. But first off, I do need to clear the air. Glenn has a question. Glenn is seeking work. He needs to know, will he get a job soon? So Glenn, why don't you tell me when to stop shuffling? I'm going to mix the cards upside down and right side up one more time. Okay. Let's cut the deck. Cut those into each other. Okay. Three. Well, to the answer to your question, it is a yes. Yes, you will get a job before the end of the year. And the energy of that job, the energy of what you have here is, you have a lot of heart energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of well-being. A lot of heart, a lot of passion. But let's just see what this is. So we're looking at a business venture. that you are throwing your energy out there. A job that has a lot of heavy emphasis on interpersonal relationships. Your job that you will get will have a lot of emphasis on that. Be something that is, of course, business related. Having a job that has bold action. Business venture, bold action. And the Queen of Hearts. Oh, there went that light. And that one also, like I said, heart. So it is interpersonal relationships. It's what you'll need in order to survive this. It'll be being able to feel out others. So maybe like sales. Thinking of like sales where you are, where you have action. And yeah, that's what I kind of see it as. And then this other one, this Jack of Hearts. And so this is more of a interpersonal relationships, or using your ability to feel people out. So empathic. This one here is using your cunning. Being cunning. Welcome, So it is a job that I'm guessing it just feels like a sales job to me. The energy here, it just feels like a sales job. We're looking at 11 plus 12 is what? $23. So it's looking at a kind of like if we were looking at some major arcana energy here. And that major arcana energy that we're looking at here is of overall, we're looking at, I think it's like the strength. This is where you're looking at overall. Adding those card numbers together is one of strength. So it's a strong job, a job that requires taming animal spirits, and you're taming your passions and keeping your passions in check. So you have to use your cunning and your relationship skills and take bold action in order to be successful in whatever this job is. And I keep coming around with all this hard energy here. I think is sales, something, or customer service, or something like that. All right. I hope that makes sense to you. I need to plug. I gotta plug this other light in. I'm gonna be running it on like that. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. Uh-oh. All right, well, all right, thank you, Glenn. I hope that made sense to you. How old are you, I'm gonna do her next, and then I'll do you. Then I'm gonna have to call it a night because I am. And I am taking care of my mother. I need to go check on her in a few minutes. So she's starting over. Let's go clear the air. And so you're starting over too, It's funny because when I put the energy in for today, it was all about starting over. Resurrections, remaking yourself. Kamzal has a question. Mary, Mother of God. I'm looking at these are my. There's another card. Where did it go to? Oh, it's right there. These are my starting over cards. It's the energy of 6. Yeah. For today, we have an ascension, the energy of a high priestess, and one of building a foundation. And what sits at the root of that foundation is drinking from the water of life, from that deep energy of self, drinking that in, and having a rediscovery of who one is. And in that, the building of your foundations. And you build your foundations by really getting in touch with yourself. Again, you drink that water of life. Examine your foundations. Get in touch with your inner feminine spirit, the divine feminine, and ascend into a new state of being, all governed by this sense of partnership, this love relationship with, whether it be a romantic love, but I didn't get a sense that it was romantic love. I had a sense that it was agape love, fatherly love, motherly love, motherly love. The love between a friend and a friend, a parent and a child and a parent, a grandparent and a grandchild, a neighbor and a neighbor. This starting over, resurrecting oneself, becoming a new being, is governed in those kinds of energies. And comes out, you have not been working for a long time, and you are seeking just a direction of travel, a direction that you're traveling. And let's just see what Spirit has to say. I'm going to go to my Crosswords Oracle, and I'm just going to look for some words and number energies that pop out. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to shuffle a little bit, and so that we have a connection here comes out. I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling. Whenever you feel like it's the right time to stop, I'll stop, and we will look at that energy. You tell me when to stop. Looks like one popped out. Okay. I don't know what you did in your former life. Maybe government job. I see flag. You should government. nobility working for government. Noble, nobility. That word just pops out. Noble. So something that might, you want to look for something that might be beneficial to others. Something that is stable. Something that's stable. Nobility. Responding to others. Government job that is stable and has a sense of nobility, that you are doing something for the greater good, working for the greater good. So, the greater good. So something doing, to looking at something that is good for society, for your civilization of where you live. Something that supports the civilization, that lends to the stability of your Can you run for office? Can you do you live in a civilization where you can run for an office, you get an elected, try to election? So like mayor, like maybe a city council, a mayor job. Do you have a functioning democracy where you live? Functioning where that it's not like you have to have unlimited amounts of money to do this. Run for an office, like a representative, or a mayor, or a city council, or school board, some kind of a government position, whether it be government like a secretary or an elected job. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting here. And so the number 21. So you're looking at a sense of bringing balance and new beginnings. And then the number 21 itself so you've never worked before. Yeah, leadership. It suggests looking for leadership. You've run a household. You have run a household. You so if you were to just to at this point in time, I want you to aim high. All right? You've never worked before, but you have been a caregiver. You have run a household. If you can run a household, you can run a government. In a small body, like a mayor. I was thinking like a mayor or city council. City council. Kind of a lower order kind of a thing, and then you just work your way up. Something that involves leadership and leading. But there's also something else I saw in here. Let's say you dream big. You dream big. You dream big. And you think of government job. Government job. And at this point in time, you apply for anything, you apply for everything. But you take what the first job that comes along. And so the other word that came into here was cook. You may working in food service. That was also something that came in with the words that stuck out. There were the big dream jobs and the small dream jobs. But you asked the question is a direction of where to look, what to look at. And so what we got here was something that helps the greater good, that increases stability in your society. Now, that could be running in a government, but there was another word here, and it was that of, which also works for the greater good of people, is if you were to work as a cook or a chef, food preparation. That does work for the greater good of people, because people got to eat. And if it is, let's say, a restaurant, and it's something where people are going for entertainment, that's also for the greater good. Those are hard jobs. They're really hard jobs, and they don't pay very well. But it is, in one sense, helps to build up a civilization, because we all got to eat. And if you can make tasty food. But of course, when you work at a restaurant, it's totally different, because you are following recipes, and it's their recipes, and it's not your recipes. It's their way. It's not your way. But in the United States, there's lots of people have come out of union and ended up in office, starting down at some low-level elected office. And the next thing they didn't know, they're a senator. They're a congressman. After 10, 15 years, they run for small offices. And next thing they know, they've gained some experience and they end up working in government, and they have a career as like a senator or a congressperson, someone in parliament or whatever. It happens. It can happen. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. It may be out of the realm of possibilities where you live. But on planet Earth, it is not out of the realm of possibilities. So you love cooking as well, and your family depends on you. Okay. So there we have it. What I would do is first dream big and look for a government job, because government jobs, they often will employ cooks as well, because they have cafeterias. And like a government in a school. Are your schools in your area, are they private schools or are they publicly funded schools? If they're publicly funded schools, then, and they have a food program, they may hire cooks. And that working in a school is also for the greater good. It goes in with this sense of nobility for you. It's that you kind of encapsulate this type of a spirit. This type of a spirit where this nobility is in you, and you are acting out of that nobility, because this nobility is your soul, and you have this energy within you, and you are acting out of that energy. I hope that helps. Your family depends on you. Okay. Well, I hope that this helps. If you need to come back and refer to this at a later time, you please be welcome to come back. Oh, I'm fine. In your next 12 o'clock. Oh shoot, it's pixelated again. Let's just see. Let me open this channel back up again and take a look. I guess it's not bad, but it's not good either. It's not been a great night for that. All right, it's ah is next.